What's up, guys? In today's video I'm going to be talking about the possible matchup between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk for all the belts in the heavyweight division. Now both men currently have rematches. Tyson Fury's got the trilogy coming up in a couple of weeks against Deontay Wilder. I am expecting Tyson Fury to come through that match, and Usyk has the rematch against Anthony Joshua if Joshua chooses to call for the rematch as in the contract. If Joshua takes the rematch, I am also expecting Usyk to come through that fight. So then hopefully we'll be able to get a unification and undisputed fight going on, which in my opinion, this matchup between Tyson Fury and Usyk would be the best fight in boxing to make, in my opinion. Now, I've been saying since Usyk moved up into the heavyweight division that I feel like he's the man to, if there is a man to beat Tyson Fury in the heavyweight division. I felt like it wasn't Wilder or AJ. I thought it was going to be Oleksandr Usyk that would give Tyson Fury the most problems in the heavyweight division. Now, I hear a lot of people saying Tyson Fury is just simply too big and skilled because a big skilled man beats a smaller skilled man, and they're saying Anthony Joshua is not nearly as skilled as Tyson Fury, which I agree with. But in my opinion, the fight's going to be extremely hard for both men. I think this is also a near 50-50 fight. And at the moment, I'm kind of leaning towards Usyk. I said this in one of the earlier videos I did. I think Usyk is going to be the undisputed heavyweight champ on top of being the undisputed cruiserweight champ. Now, I say this because I think Tyson Fury, in my opinion, he's used to having the better boxing skills, the better footwork, the better legs, better boxing IQ. Now, in this fight, I think he doesn't have the advantage in any of those departments. I think he actually is at a disadvantage in all those departments because I think Usyk has the faster foot speed, hand speed. I think he has better legs. I think he can fight at a higher pace than Tyson Fury with him being the smaller man. I also think in terms of boxing IQ, Usyk might have even better boxing IQ than Tyson Fury. I think he does because I think Tyson Fury fundamentally is not as technically good as Usyk. I think he leaves himself open a lot more. He relies on reflexes a lot, but in this fight, he's not going to have the speed advantage. So I think there's going to be a lot of openings for Usyk to kind of, be able to pick Tyson Fury apart. But Tyson Fury is a guy that can adapt on the fly and make adjustments mid-fight, which we saw Anthony Joshua really couldn't do. He was down 6 rounds to 2, 6 rounds to 1, or whatever it was in the fight against Usyk, and he made no adjustments. Now, in a Tyson Fury versus Usyk fight, I think both men are able to make adjustments. And I think Tyson Fury would be forced to make adjustments in this fight because I think if they have a boxing match and like a chess match in there, I think Usyk's going to have the advantage, in my opinion, because of the speed. And I think, like you saw when Tyson Fury fought Steve Cunningham, when they were boxing at range, it was competitive. But Steve Cunningham had a bit of a speed advantage, and he was able to tag Fury and put him down in that fight. And when Fury got back up off the canvas, he had to make the adjustment because he was at a speed disadvantage in that fight. So he no longer wanted to box with Cunningham at range, and he chose to make the fight an inside fight. And he big man Steve Cunningham in that fight, got on the inside, walked him down with a high guard, took all Cunningham's shots on the gloves, got on the inside, cut the ring off, which Fury's very good at, because Fury's like a Swiss Army knife. He can beat you on the inside, he can beat you on the outside, and he can beat you both southpaw in the southpaw orthodox stance. So this is a very versatile man, that can fight in a lot of different styles. And I think in this fight he's going to be forced to not be able to box from range with Usyk because I think, like I say, with Usyk's speed, angles, footwork, I think he's going to be able to make Tyson Fury even look like a stationary target, which he certainly isn't. But I think the foot speed advantage and hand speed advantage Usyk has is going to make even Fury look, slow and flat-footed in there. So I think then Fury's going to have to make the adjustment in the fight to, go like he did against Steve Cunningham and start to press the action, put up a high guard defense and walk Usyk down, try to put him on the ropes, put him down, cut the ring off, put him on the ropes. And Fury's an extremely good body puncher, and I think that is going to be what makes the fight so tough for Usyk, because I'm not sure he's going to be able to keep Tyson Fury off of him when Fury starts walking him down in a high guard, getting on the inside, leaning on him, pushing him with the forearm in the face, body shots, making the fight, a dirty, rough, tough fight on the inside, using his his weight and size strength advantage over Oleksandr Usyk. So that's what adjustment I see Fury making, is he's going to have to start to press the action and walk Usyk down, make it an inside fight, even though he's the much taller of the two men. Because you see Usyk, he's a master at taking a person's jab away, with his footwork in different angles, getting out of range, and then coming through, quickly getting in range with his footwork, and controlling the fight with his footwork and feints. Because both men, Tyson Fury makes a big use of feints in his fights. He really uses feints. Anthony Joshua didn't use enough feints in that fight, in my opinion. Both Usyk and Fury are masters of the feint game, getting reactions out of the opponents and, setting their opponents up for different shots. So I think Usyk's footwork is going to be superior, and I think Fury's going to have to start to walk him down, try to get on the inside, and cut the ring off on Usyk, go to the body, try to break him down that way, use his size and strength advantage. Now, Usyk, in my opinion, he has such good footwork that I think it's going to be much harder for Fury to try and actually cut the ring down on Usyk, pin him down and get him on the ropes. And I think he's also going to be able to, be tagging Fury in the face, making it much harder to walk him down when you're getting, peppered with shots. And like I say, both men actually have underrated power. So I think Usyk has got the power to hurt Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury hasn't got a granite chin, in my opinion. He's got a decent chin. He's been down quite a few times in his pro career. And but he always finds a way to get back up off the canvas, get back into the fight, because he's got such heart, and he's able to make adjustments. He's got heart, he's got good fitness, and he's able to adjust, make changes, and get back into the fight off the canvas. Now, like I said, both men have respectable power, so I think Usyk can, hurt Fury in this fight, and that is going to make it very interesting, because, when Fury's trying to walk in, it ain't just going to be easy to get on the inside of Usyk when he's got that level of footwork and speed, as well as defense and upper body movement. He's not easy to pin down. He's very slippery and slick in there. Now, the other thing is, I heard boxing fans say it was going to be like just a boring fight, because they're both just, thinkers, defensive fighters. They don't have power. I disagree with all those things, because real boxing fans want to see a technique. You don't always just want to see a brawl. I know a brawl is exciting, but you want to see, skills on display. I mean, that's what boxing's about. The ability to get hit and not get hit. Both these men are really good at that. But like I say, because Fury isn't going to have the technical and, boxing skill advantage in this fight, I don't think it's going to just be a chess match, because Fury's not going to be content like Anthony Joshua was to just sit on the outside and get picked apart. Fury's a guy that's trying to win at all costs. He'll make whatever change he needs to make in a fight to win the fight. He's going to do that. And like I say, in this fight, I think he's going to be forced to have to walk Usyk down and turn the fight into a brawl, which is an inside fight, which is going to make the fight be extremely entertaining, in my opinion. And this is a fight where we'll really see if Usyk can handle a big physical heavyweight. Because AJ, he didn't make that fight physical, because Usyk was able to control him too easy, and AJ is not willing to run any red lights. He's not a guy that wants to take risks. He's a safety first boxer. Tyson Fury is not that guy. Tyson Fury is trying to win the fight at all costs. So he will make the changes necessary to turn this into a real rough and tough fight, which is going to really test Usyk's stamina. And we'll see then, is Usyk good enough to be, the best heavyweight in a heavyweight division that has a lot of giants in, because this is a giant in Tyson Fury that's going to make the fight extremely physical. And this is going to be where we see, can Usyk withstand the 12 rounds of being leaned on, hit to the body, in a tough, rugged fight, because we know Tyson Fury can do that for 12 rounds. He has a really good gas tank, which AJ as well, his gas tank empties pretty quickly, and so he couldn't take too many risks last night, because he was already finished at the end of the fight. He was so fatigued, he couldn't defend himself. He could hardly stand up on the ropes, and they had to ring the bell early to stop him from getting knocked out in that fight. So Fury's not the guy that's going to run out of gas. So he's going to really test Usyk's stamina and durability in the heavyweight division. So in my opinion, this fight's going to have everything mixed into it. You're going to see spots where you're seeing a high-level chess match, boxing skills, reflexes, defense on display. And then you're also going to have moments where you see, a brawl breakout and a real fight breakout, which is going to be very entertaining. It's going to be, in my opinion, probably fight of the year if it happens. It's going to be a very intriguing, entertaining fight. It's really hard to pick a winner in this fight, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm leaning towards Oleksandr Usyk at this moment in time, because I think having those technical and speed advantages, I think he will be able to survive for 12 rounds against Tyson Fury, and I think he's going to win a lot of the early rounds. I think it'll be a fight of two halves where Usyk has a lot of success early, and then late in the fight, Tyson Fury starts to have a lot of success and maybe starts to get right back into the fight and make the fight very close. Now, I know a lot of people say Tyson Fury's too tall and he'll be able to keep Usyk, at range on the end of a jab. I really don't see that happening, because as we've seen, Usyk's a master at taking away an opponent's jab, using his footwork to get in and out, using different angles. And I think he's going to be able to do that to Tyson Fury as well, because he has the foot speed, hand speed advantage, very good head movement and defense, very good feints. And he'll just be, a better boxer than anybody Tyson Fury's fought in the past. And we've already seen Tyson Fury has problems with guys that have speed advantages over him, like a Cunningham. And then you also saw Otto Wallen have a fair bit of success against Fury. Now, in my opinion, Fury won that fight 9-3, or maybe 8-4, but it was a possibility that fight could have been stopped due to how bad that cut was on Fury's eye. But Fury managed to once again pull out the victory. But you saw Wallen have a lot of success in that fight. And Fury even had to start taking the fight on the inside in that fight, because he couldn't see with all the blood in his eye, and Wallen was starting to have a lot of success, boxing against Fury at range. And you had to see Fury make the adjustment to get on the inside of Wallen. Now, it's not going to be easy to get on the inside of Oleksandr Usyk, because he has much better footwork and boxing skills than Otto Wallen. They're both southpaws, but in my opinion, Oleksandr Usyk is just, Otto Wallen times 1,000. He's better than Otto Wallen at every single thing in boxing. Got better footwork, got better boxing skills, got a better jab, got better defense, a way better boxing IQ. And Wallen has a solid boxing IQ, but in my opinion, Usyk's boxing IQ is just that high. So I think it's going to be a really tough, intriguing fight. At the moment, I'm leaning towards Oleksandr Usyk winning that fight by a close unanimous decision or split decision. But I think Oleksandr Usyk, in my opinion, is going to probably pull that fight out in a tough, close fight. But it's going to be a very, very hard fight for both men. I think it's a much tougher fight than both the AJ and Wilder fight for both men. And, they are going to be each other's toughest fights. So, in my opinion, best fight in boxing to make. Hope that fight gets made if both men come through these rematches they're in. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who you guys think would win that fight. And, if you guys even think that fight will happen. Or do you see one of the guys losing their rematch to their current opponents? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for listening. Talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.